some point, being the author who actually created those characters, do you, when, for example, they kind of do something with the character that you think, oh, well, that's out of character, that's not what they would do, at what point do you reconcile that or surrender that that's them taking your idea and moving on to that? Does it really affect you, or do you just kind of let it go and...
You have to make up your mind from the get-go that they have the right to the character, and they have the right to do that. They're no longer your characters when they pass out of your hands. They're being translated by someone else. And in that translation, there are going to be additions and deletions from your original vision.
Yeah, I'd go even further than that and say that when you first write the book, literally when you're sitting there writing the book the first time, the character is known only to you by definition. But then as soon as that book is published and people start reading it and then the second book comes out, the ownership of that character migrates outward and it becomes shared. And so it's really the same question about, you could ask the same question about the books. You know, people read the books and they form an opinion of the character or a version of the character in their own imagination that is not necessarily the same as what the author has. So it happens much earlier than you think. And the movie is really like somebody's very informed opinion. It's an opinion. You know, they think this is what the character is like. And I'm very interested in somebody else's opinion. They have to be in real life ones, because when I worked in television, as well as my day job as a director, for 2 years I was also the union organizer. And it was 2 years of great upheaval, and to a large extent how easily the management was going to be able to get away with things depended on what they thought of me. And they commissioned a psychological profile of me, which I stole. And it was absolutely fascinating to read somebody else's opinion of myself. And the movie was a bit like that. You know, it was somebody else's opinion of Jack Reacher, and I was very interested to see it.